Hey Booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. I have a little reading update and then just kind of a life update and something I wanted to talk to you guys about. So first of all, in case you did not hear, I did actually finish Parade's End last weekend, so that feels so good. You can see all the sticky notes. Lots to think about with this one. I'm hoping to do a review of Parade's End and Our Mutual Friend this weekend, or at least film them. They may not go up till later in the week, but yeah, so that is my big video goal for the weekend. So what am I currently reading? I'm currently reading Shakespeare, hence my shirt with the bard on it there. So I am reading Henry IV, Part 1, with Rainy from Rainy Day Reads. And I can tell I haven't read any Shakespeare since September, since we had Shaketube, or Shaketember, as it's now going to be called. And yeah, I'm like, whoa, like, okay, I just gotta work myself back into it. I know I will. But anyway, so I'm hoping to get through like Act 2 this weekend. I've started Act 2, but with all of the footnotes in this Penguin edition, yeah, like Act 2 is more than 50 pages long. So anyway, so that's my big goal. I was planning on reading Brideshead Revisited, but because I have heard so much love of that book from all of you, and I am just kind of like reader fatigued at the moment a little bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait. And fortunately, Lindsay from Lindsay Reads, she and I were gonna buddy read that together, and so we've kind of postponed that for the moment because I really do want to, I don't know, feel have a bit more energy, I guess, for reading. And then there is like a big kind of COVID update, I guess, if you will. You can see I'm filming from my living room, not the library, because Jason this week started going back to the office. And he has not worked in his at his desk in the office for close to 13 months, I would say. So it was a very big deal. He was really anxious about it. And you just have to understand, like, we both have done everything that we can to be vigilant and try to protect ourselves, protect the people around us. Just to give you some idea, this is our container of hand sanitizer. Jason managed to get 4 of these right before things really went crazy last March, March 2020, obviously, and we ended up donating one of the hand sanitizers to a local nonprofit, and then they bought like little mini pumps for people to have at their desks, and we're able to use that. So we weren't trying to hoard or anything like that, but yeah, so it's been very, very serious. We have a whole drying rack for the masks, so the dirty ones all get put in one place. They are worn once and then they are hand washed for the most part. There's with a few exceptions, but yeah, so having Jason go back to work though. And then the other thing we did this week that was big was we got takeout for the first time in over 13 months, and I tell you what, the food tasted so good. I had pad thai, and oh my god, it was like I had never eaten it before. And the reason for all of this is that Jason and I have now, I think it's been 2 weeks since our second dose of the Moderna vaccine, so we finally feel like we have a little bit more freedom I may actually get to go and do some clothes shopping this weekend. Although it sucks because the dressing rooms are not open, and so basically I have to make a good guess, and then I'm gonna come home and try things on before I take any tags off, and then take some stuff back probably. So clothes shopping for me is just it's just a dreadful thing. But anyway, so that has been like a major shift in our lives. My parents, initially they were going to come this weekend. They're now coming next weekend, and they are fully vaccinated as well. So it will be the first time again in over a year that I've seen my parents. And I did ask Jason's permission whether or not to share this on my channel, but Jason's family was really hit hard by COVID. My niece got it, and unfortunately then my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my brother-in-law all got it, and all three of them were pretty sick, especially my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law. And it was so hard. It was so stressful, like not to not be able to do anything for them. It's all just, I mean, just kind of wild. But I think right now, the state of Wyoming, about 40% of adults are somewhere in the vaccination process. I hope those numbers keep going up. I also feel a little bit of guilt because I know there are people out there who really do need the vaccine. And I got it, and they probably need it more than I do. And so that's been a little complicated as well for me, just mentally trying to deal with the fact that I know in other countries and other places in the United States, it's extremely difficult to get the vaccine. And so I feel blessed, but I wish I could make it as easy for everyone who wants to get the vaccine. We'll still be wearing masks, definitely for the next year at least, maybe longer. Finally, today, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Pulitzer Prize. Now, if you've been following me on my brand new Instagram account, which I will link to down below, one of my posts was about the Pulitzer Prize. For those of you who are new to this channel, the Pulitzer Prize is a very important book prize for me. I have read all the books that have won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction. And they were scheduled to announce the winners of the Pulitzer Prize, not just for fiction, but also in journalism and poetry and nonfiction, all that stuff. Originally, it was supposed to come out on April 19th. They were going to announce the winners, and they have pushed that back to June 11th. Now, I don't really know the reason for it. I'm assuming it's related to the pandemic and just wanting to make sure, but it's all going to be via live stream. They usually have some kind of luncheon or some sort of celebration, and that won't be happening until the fall. So that's quite interesting. June 11th, man, that's really late. Last year, I think they announced the Pulitzers in May. So I'm not quite sure, again, totally what the reason is. I would assume that it's related to COVID, but no clue. So, but I did get a lot of feedback from many of you about wanting to see like a top 10 Pulitzer list and and then the worst 10 Pulitzers. So I looked on my Goodreads shelf. That's on a different Goodreads account than the one down below. If you want to get updates that are more channel focused, I really encourage you to follow or friend me on the Goodreads channel that's listed down below. 2 Goodreads accounts. That's just a great way to complicate my life. But nonetheless, So I looked at my Pulitzer list. I have 9 Pulitzers that I gave 5 stars to. I have 6 Pulitzers that I gave 1 star to. And one of those 1 stars is because that book is like a complete blank to me. I read it before I decided to read all the Pulitzers, and I don't remember anything from it, and I just wasn't, because it was so forgettable, like I just didn't really think I needed to read it again. So I mean, maybe in some sense I have like 5 Pulitzers that have 1 star and 1 Pulitzer that maybe one of these days I'll get around to reading again, reading more critically. But I was looking at how many of the Pulitzers I gave 4 stars to, and that's in the 30s. More than 30 books I gave that won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction, I gave 4 stars to. So I really, really would like your feedback in the comments section down below about whether, like, what do you, my concern about doing a video that's my top 10 Pulitzers is, one, I mean, every year, but like one of those books is the book that won the Pulitzer last year, The Nickel Boys. So, you know, every year that list could change. I also feel like many of those 9 books I have talked about on this channel multiple times. You've seen their covers quite a bit. So I'm a little torn about that. And the other kind of problem is, unless I can figure out, and if anyone wants to help me with this, Jason, if you're watching, you know, I don't know how to get like the picture of a book up here. So I would need to go and hunt down some of these books because I don't own many of them, especially the bottom 6. I'm sure we don't own any of them. I mean, they were hard to get when I read them initially. Many of the books that I read for the Pulitzer Prize project, I got on interlibrary loan, because the library in my city did not have it. Many of these books are, over time, you know, going out of print or are just more difficult to find. So I don't know. I want to be able to show you the book some way, but again, I also don't know if you really want to see like 9 books that I've probably already talked about my channel at some point. I mean, I feel good that there's only 6 books that there was 1 star for. That's a little bit hopeful, but there's a lot of like mixed, probably a lot of 2s and 3 star books as well. So let me know, like, if you still want like top 10, or maybe, you know, top 10 books that are a little more obscure. I'm not sure. But anyway, give me your thoughts and ideas about that in the comment section down below. Booktube, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Thank you so much for watching and being part of my channel. I really appreciate it. So take care, Booktube. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.